This conference will now be recorded.
So first of all, welcome to PVR Cloud Tech. My name is Srinivas. I'm having total 13 years of experience as a data engineer. As a data engineer, my skill set is started with Python and SQL. Later, I worked on big data environment. I worked on Hadoop and PySpark. Later, I worked on Azure Cloud. So in the Azure, I worked on a data factory, a data bricks, Synapse, and now I'm working in Fabric as well. Okay. This is my skill set, guys. Now, what is today agenda? Guys, today in the session, I can see some are freshers, some are non-IT guys, some are experienced guys, some are entire manager level also. So here I have to cover everyone point of view, guys. So today I'm going to discuss from the basic. So first 10 minutes I'm going to discuss from the basic, then we'll go for actual data engineering part. So today we are going to start with what is a data, what is a database, what is ETL, what is the difference between database, data warehouse, and a data lake, and we'll discuss about what is a cloud computing and what are the roles and responsibilities of data engineer. And what are the Azure data engineering services we are going to learn. Okay, this is for today, guys. Today agenda this one. So first we have to start with the data. Guys, here entire our journey we will heard the terminology data. Data is a collection of raw facts. So it can be any characters, audio files, video files, images. So everything, characters, numbers, everything we can call it as a data. Now, this data somewhere we have to store. So that is the database. Database is a collection of logically related data stored in a centralized location or any place, single place where we can store the data. Consider here, before softwares came into picture, people are going to maintain the data in the books. For suppose 50 years back, so if you want to maintain anything, so if I am going to start a business related, what is the sales, what is the purchases, everything I am going to maintain in the books. At in the end of the year, I can go to manual calculation, I can come to know what is the profit and what is the loss of your business. Once the software came into picture, so we are going to maintain the data in the databases in the form of tables. So whatever the data we are going to maintain in the database in the form of tables or rows and columns. Here here now in the database we can maintain the data in the tables. So here the data will be here like this. To interact with this one, okay, so we have a languages. For suppose I'm having a person. Okay, so to communicate with another person, we are having a language. Okay, for suppose we go to abroad to communicate with another one, you are going to use English. So there is a language to communicate with another person. Similar way to communicate here. Okay, this system, if you want to communicate, there is a language called SQL, structured query language. Using that, we are going to communicate. So here we are going to maintain the data in the database. Example, in earlier, okay, you are going to fill any form, okay, for suppose you are going to apply any applications. So you are going to fill a manually, fill the form, you have to submit the details based on your score, they are going to provide the call letter and all. Now once online came into picture, okay, everything you are going to filling the details in the online, you have to submit the details in the database. Using language, they are going to verify the data and they can send the hall tickets. Okay, so this is the database where we are going to store the data. This is the database where we are going to store the data. For suppose, consider an example. So you are going to fill the online, okay, Amazon, consider Amazon online form. Amazon, okay, online order, online login, online sign up. Okay, so you are going to fill the details. What is the name? Okay, so what is the ID, name, mobile number, address, mail ID. So they are going to take the details, and then we have to register the details. Okay, customer ID, okay, name and mail ID. Like this, you have to provide the details. Whatever the details, you are going to store the details into the databases. Store the details into the database. So here also the data will be in the form of tables. So here also the data will be in the form of tables like this. So consider here I am having a details like this. So whatever the details you filled, the details will be here in the form of tables. Okay. So let me save this one. Guys, after the session, I will provide the recording sessions as well as material, everything. So yours is 54th batch, guys. Let me save this one. Okay, so here where we are going to maintain the data in the tables. Now, so here to organize the database, there is a software, a DBMS or RDBMS, database management system or relational database management system, where we can, it is a software, so which organize the database. So organize the database, so insert, update, delete. So whatever the operations you perform on the database, we can manage this one using the softwares. So whatever the popular RDBMS systems are there, Oracle, SQL Server, Teradata, okay, DB2, multiple RDBMS systems are there where we are going to maintain the data in the tables, rows and columns. Okay, now next we have to understand the one more terminology, ETL. Guys, these are terminology going forward completely I'm using. Okay, ETL. So ETL is a process. ETL is a process. Consider an example. Consider an example. ICICI related. ICICI related. Okay. Everything is fine. Okay. ICICI related. I said we are going to maintain the data in the databases, right? So consider they are going to maintain the data. So whatever the customer details are there, those customer details they are going to maintain in the Oracle database. So in the Oracle, so one of the RDBMS system, they are maintain the customer details. Okay. like what is the customer ID, customer name, they're maintaining here. Customer details present in the table. So here, this one. As they are banking, they are having a customer card transactions also. So whatever the customer has done the transactions, they are maintaining here. So customer credit card transactions. So those details are maintained in the one more table. Okay, those details are maintained in the one more table. Okay, now customer details are present here. Customer transaction details are present here. This is a different database management system, which is a SQL server. Okay, which is a consider it is a SQL server. Okay, now here there is a high level people. Okay, now he would like to know he would like to know customers who has done the transactions more than 1 lakh last month. So he wants to know the customer details. He wants to know the customer details, customer ID, customer name, date of birth, transaction amount, sorry, card number, transaction amount, transaction date. He want to know all the details of the customer. But here, as per the data, customer details are present here, customer card transactions are present here. But he required both. Guys, our aim is to provide the data to the reporting guys. So there will be a business users, we have to provide the data to them. So my customer details present here, card transaction details are present here. So what we have to do is we have to move the data into here, or we have to move the data into here. Somewhere we have to maintain both data. So this data we can move so that we can get a customer details and customer card transactions. Similar way, we may move this table to this one anywhere. Okay, any one we can do. So consider I'm going to move the data into here. I'm going to move the data into here. Okay, now here this is extracting. I'm going to extract the data from the Oracle, and I can load the data into the target. I can load the data into the target. Meanwhile, I can apply the transformations. Example, if you observe here, a date of birth is DD, MM, YYY format. But user expectation is whatever the data, it is in this format. Okay. Now, after extracting the data, I can apply the transformation. Transformation means changing one form to another form, transform. So here I am going to convert the date of birth from DD MM YY to DD MM YYY format. So, so these are transformations as per the business requirement. We have to modification. We have to modify. Now, if you observe here, extract the data from the Oracle, apply the transformations as per the business requirement, loaded into the target. So this process we can call it as a ETL process. ETL process. Guys, traditionally we are having some tools like Talend, Informatica, data stage, data stage. Like some ETL tools are there using that we can extract the data, apply the transformation, loaded into the target. Okay, this process is called it as ETL process. Guys, in this example, I said from database to database. Okay, similar way we can go for file system to tables. If you go for any file system to any databases, similar way database to database, file to file, table to table. So we can do anything, guys. So we can do anything. File to file system to file system, database to file to database. Anywhere we can do. So in this ETL tools, already they are having a existed environment existed connectors are there. Using that, I can move the data from source to target. Here, based on the requirement. Okay. So this is the ETL process. Similar to ETL, we are having a few more processes. Similar to ETL, we are having ELT also. Okay. So just now I said an example, Oracle and SQL Server, whatever the customer details. So extract the data from here, apply the transformations loaded into the target, which is a ETL. Similar way, we have a ELT, extract loaded into the target as it is. Now, as per the requirement, they are applying the transformation. For suppose consider I am having a Oracle, I got the customer details. Now there is a different teams are there. They would like to use the same data but different date formats they want. So here in this case, after loading the data into the target, as per the business requirement, everybody they can maintain their own transformations. This is the ELT, extract, load, and transfer. And there is a EL, extract and load. Whatever the data as it is, we are dumping into source to target, extract and load. Okay, remember this terminology. Now, here guys, there is a one more terminology you have to understand: a database versus a data warehouse versus a data lake versus a data lake house. Guys, some people enter different background, guys. This terminology may be new to you. Okay, go through the recording second time and third time, guys. So those people are already working people, they can understand this terminology is easy. For you, you have to spend some more time to understand the basics, guys. Now, a database, as I said, every day whatever the transactions are happen. Okay, consider here in this example. So whatever the transactions are happening, so they are going to maintain in the database. Then what is data warehouse? So consider an example. I'm having a database. I'm having a database. So generally, guys, a database is going to maintain the small amount of data. Okay, for suppose consider banking transaction 2025 John, 2025 Feb. Okay, so it is having a transactions. For suppose, if you remember, if you go for ATM, so you are going to withdraw amount. When you withdraw amount, the bank balance gets updated here in the ATM. Okay, if you see here, you will get your details. So the details coming from the database only. So current balance, everything coming from the database only. So after transactions are happen, okay, withdraw amount, immediately your net banking, if you observe, the bank balance gets updated because it is having a backend database which is having a small amount of data. Easily we can do update. For suppose, okay, I'm having a basket of 10 fruits. Okay, basket of 10 fruits, I want to find out one mango here. I'm having only one mango. I can easily fetch operation. Okay, so that's why database is contains the small amount of data, so easily we can. Okay, so here, then somewhere I have to maintain my history, right? So here it is having a small amount of data, so there is a data warehouse. There is a data warehouse where we are going to maintain the historical data. Okay, so consider I'm having a transaction 2023, 2024, 2025 Jan, 2025 Feb. Like historical data I'm going to maintain in the data warehouse. So here, so which is having a transactional data, OLTP operation, online transactional processing. This is the OLAP operation, online analytical processing. We can do some analytics on top of this one, and mainly guys, here we are going to maintain the historical data. So here we are going to maintain the history of the data. Okay, historical data. For suppose I am having RDBMS system. Okay, consider I am having RDBMS, relational database, like a SQL server. Okay, the same thing we can go for database, the same thing we can go for data warehouse. If it is a data warehouse, we have to maintain the historical data. Okay, historical data we have to maintain, so configuration will be high. Here what happened guys, periodically we have to move the data from database to data warehouse, which we can perform using the ETL tools. Just now I said what is ETL, we can transfer the data. So the same thing we can do here in the ETL tools, to move the data from database to data warehouse periodically. As the data is here, complete data, I can perform reports on top of this one. On top of the data warehouse, we can generate the reports. Here guys, our ultimate aim is to provide the data to the business team. They are going to generate the reports. Okay, so here entire data will be here. So a business team is going to ask, okay, Srinivas, can you tell me last 1 year what is the sales of particular product related? So then I can go for data warehouse. Okay, for suppose here an example, in this in this example you can see here example, withdraw amount in ATM, immediately bank balance get updated, which is OLTP operation. OLAP operation, example, annual bank statement, monthly credit card bill generation. So those are all performed on the historical data, huge amount historical data, data warehousing operations. And here guys, in the data warehouse, it is going to support the, okay, asset properties, okay, database related properties, updates, insert, delete, everything we can do in the data warehouse. Mainly to somewhere I have to maintain the history. Earlier guys, before cloud and all, data engineer responsibility is that they have to maintain the data in the data warehouse. There may be multiple sources, they have to ingest the data into data warehouse using ETL tools. Using ETL tools, they have to ingest the data, and they have to organize the data, and they have to provide the data to the reporting. So this is the data warehouse. 1980s, around the 2020s, okay, 2000 people are using the data warehouse. Now here what happened is the data is increasing more. Okay, so guys, please make self mute whoever joined. Here in the traditional data warehouse, so as the data is increasing nowadays, the traditional data warehouse does not able to handle this data warehouse. So that's why a data lake came into picture. Okay, that's why a data lake came into picture. So here in the data lake, so multiple systems are connected here, and we are going to build the data lake. Mainly guys, why data lake came into picture is to handle the big data. So data lake came into picture mainly to handle the big data. Then what is big data? What is big data? Okay, see, I'm repeating, don't confuse guys. I'm having a data. To maintain the data, I'm having a databases. So a databases, only small amount of data. If you want to maintain the history, we can go for data warehouse. But here day by day data is increasing. A data warehouse does not able to handle this one. So that's why data lake came into picture. So what is data lake is mainly to handle the big data. So what is big data? Guys, big data is not any programming language, not any programming. So it is not a software, it is not a database. is big data is a logical term. Big data is just a logical term. If any of the data having three characteristics, three V's. So mainly three characteristics. Guys, some people are saying 3 V's, 7 V's, 9 V's. Okay. So main three V's are volume point of view, velocity, and variety. Okay. Throughout our journey, we are going to handle the big data, guys. Okay. Volume point of view, huge amount of data. For suppose consider I am having a Gmail. In the Gmail, attachment size is 25 MB. Okay. Now for the Gmail, if you are trying to attach 30 MB of file, then Gmail point of view it is big data. You are trying to insert more than its capacity. Okay. And here nowadays huge amount of data is generated and the industry is also maintain the huge amount of data. So where you can see nowadays social media. Okay, huge amount of data is generating. Not only this one, every industry is going to maintain the huge amount of data nowadays, maintaining huge data. So mainly to do predictions, guys. Mainly to do predictions. What is the prediction? For suppose I'm a Flipkart customer. For suppose I'm a Flipkart customer. Here, Flipkart is maintaining my 6 months data. Consider they are maintaining only 6 months of my data, not a huge data, only 6 months of my data. Last 6 months, last 6 months, I purchased more on baby products. By seeing my data, they observe that last 6 months I purchased baby products. Now they can predict that. Now they can predict that this candidate last 6 months he is purchasing more on baby products so that next 1 year also he can purchase more and they can run the campaigns and I will get a offers accordingly. And I will get a offers accordingly. Because of they maintain 6 months of data, they can predict this one. For suppose they maintain the huge amount of data. Consider they maintaining the 2 years of data. 2 years back, I purchased a mobile. Now they can predict that now this candidate may change the mobile, so they can run the campaign. They can run the campaigns, and you will get a mail offers. As they maintain the huge amount of data, they can do some predictions. Consider banking related. I'm having ICICI Bank. I'm having a credit card. Consider ICICI Bank is maintaining only 1 year data. 1 year data. I'm having a credit card. So they want to, I want to, sorry, based on my 1 year data, based on 1 year transactions, they want to increase my credit card limit to 1 lakh to 4 lakhs. Okay, increase the limit because they have only 1 year of my transactions. For suppose they have my 3 years data. Okay, so by observing my 3 years, first 2 years I did not pay on time. So I didn't pay on time. So they can increase the limit to 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh only. Because first 2 years I did not pay on time. So I paid only last 1 year. So they don't want to take a risk. So they can increase the limit from 1 to 1.5. Because of huge amount of data, they can take some predictions. They can do some decisions as well. So and that's why nowadays industry is going to maintain the huge amount of data. And velocity, high speed generating data, which is a streaming data, continuously generating data. Example, CC cam. Okay, morning it is in terms of KBs, end of the day it is in terms of MBs and GBs. Variety, different categories of the data. Okay, Different categories of the data. One is structured data, semi-structured data. Another one is unstructured data. Unstructured data. Structured data, okay, in the form of tables, are all delimited files. Semi-structured data, XML files, JSON files. Guys, some freshers or non-IT people, this terminology may be new to you. Coming classes, you will understand, guys. Unstructured data, images, audio files, video files, okay, video files. Those are all unstructured data. So here, this is about the different characteristics of the data. Okay. Here, guys, if you observe, as the data is increasing, what are the challenges? Here, we cannot inform to the customer, boss, my database is filled, don't do any transactions. Okay, we cannot inform. So the way what we can do is we have to handle this one. The main challenges of the big data is, one is how to store the data. Another one is how to process the data. Another one is how to process the data. Storage related, guys. Storage related, traditionally people are using the data warehouse, but it cannot able to handle this one because a huge amount of data is generating nowadays. So that's why data lake came into picture. In the data lake, as per the requirement, multiple systems we can add. Okay, so this is my laptop 1 TB, this is your laptop 1 TB, total 2 TB I can store. So if the data is increasing, I can add one more system. So these a collection of systems, we can call it as a cluster. So I will tell you all those things. So data lake is a distributed file system. Okay, data lake is a distributed file system, a distributed file system, mainly to handle the big data, mainly to handle the big data. So here, guys, we can store structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. It is a kind of dumping yard. So everything we can maintain in the data lake. Everything we can maintain in the data lake. Okay, so here it can store all categories of the data, all categories of the data. But here what happened is, in the data warehouse we can perform the operations, any updates, okay, we can perform here in the data warehouse, but in the data lake it does not perform. So consider acid properties. Any database we have atomicity, consistency, isolation, so durability. So so organized manner we can do here, but we can do here only in terms of the file system. So everything is in terms of the file only. Everything is in terms of the file. For suppose if you want to update the data, we cannot perform here. Okay, so here we cannot updates, doesn't support. Okay, data warehousing operations, acid properties, it doesn't support, but I can maintain huge data, but I can maintain the huge data here in the data lake. So that's why there is a one more component, a data lake house came into picture. Data lake house, the name itself indicates a data lake plus a data warehouse. So here we can maintain all categories of the data lake we can maintain. On top of this, we can have a data warehousing also. Both data warehousing and data lake pictures, data lake and data warehousing features we have. So we can implement. Okay, so here both big data handling, I said data lake plus data warehouse. So we can handle the big data. It can support the acid properties. Okay, so here for example for data lake house is a delta lake. Okay, so here the data is in the delta format. Guys, this terminology new to you, going forward you will understand, guys. Okay, Now, so this is the one. So here, small amount of data, historical data in the traditional data lake to handle the huge amount of data, but here it doesn't support data warehousing feature. A data lake house, it can support the features. Sorry, spelling correct. Yeah, correct only. Now, here guys, to handle this data lake, to build the data lake guys, okay, to build the data lake, okay, so this handling the big data related, one way is we can go for Hadoop environment guys, and another way is we can go for any cloud environment. Another way is cloud environment. But Hadoop traditionally people are using now, not at all people are using Hadoop guys. So very very rarely people are using the Hadoop, because here everything is a manual only. Everything is a manual only. Instead of that, people are going for a cloud environment. So to handle the huge amount of data, we have a data lake. Okay, so that one, so the same data lake or data lake house, okay, we can build here. So here we can build the data lake, okay, here also, but here manually, so people are not using this one. Now people are using the cloud environment, where we can build a data lake and a data lake house, both we can build. Then what is a cloud? Okay, what is cloud? What is cloud computing? Now here guys, so forget about your database whatever. For suppose I am going to start a new business, like Flipkart, new retailer like Flipkart, like Flipkart, I want to start a new company. Okay, new this. So here, as this is the business queue, so I have to maintain the web servers. I want to maintain the website. I have to purchase some databases. I have to maintain the office infrastructure. So I want to see, because I'm starting a new infrastructure, and I have to purchase some software licenses, and I have to do some networking related. So like this, I have to spend multiple things, because I'm going to start a new business related, okay, website related, everything I have to maintain my own. Okay. Now here what happened is, after 6 months, okay, so my business is not expected. So what the profits are, it is not as expected. So I want to shut down this one. I want to shut down. Then whatever you spend, everything will be gone. The amount you invested, everything will be gone, shut down. So instead of maintaining your own environment, I can go for cloud. Okay, instead of maintaining the own environment, I can go for cloud. Here, cloud, what happened is, they provided all the services, and you can use that. You can use. For suppose, consider an example. For suppose, consider example. I am sitting in the home. In the home, I am using the laptop. For the laptop, I got the power from the power socket. Okay, I got the power from the power socket. Now, similar way, I am having, sorry, my colleague homes. Similar way, they are using the laptop. They got the power from the power socket. So there will be a power station in your village. There will be a power station in your village. Now your home will get the power from the power station. Power from the power station. Here, if you observe, based on the amount of power consumed, the power bill will be generated. Power bill will be generated. Okay, if you consume more power bill will be generated. Similar way, Here guys, in the cloud environment there will be a cloud providers. There will be a cloud power providers. So they are going to maintain all these web servers, databases, networking related, security related, virtual machines related. So all they are going to maintain. Now be a user, okay, here. So be a user, I can connect into the I can connect it to the cloud environment. Okay, I can connect into the cloud environment and I can use the processes. Whatever the required processes, whatever the required services. Okay, for suppose database I want, I can use that one and I can pay for it. So here, individual home related, you are not maintaining a power station. Entire village related. Similar way, so cloud related, they already provided the services. Okay, so you can utilize the service here. For suppose, so for my business, I want to maintain 6 months of customers details. So 1 TB I want to maintain the database. So for suppose I paid $100 for it. My business is good. Okay, I want to maintain 1 year customer data. 2 TB data I want to maintain. Then you can pay for $200. My business is not expected. I want to maintain only 3 months. I want to maintain only 50 GB data. Then go for $50. Like this, if the if you utilized more, okay, then you have to pay more. Okay, so cloud providers having all the services through internet, we can access those services and you can pay for it through internet. You can access those services and you can pay for it. So here guys, so cloud computing is on demand delivery. Cloud computing is a on demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay as you go pricing. So through internet, you can access the IT sources with pay as you go. Here you can see, instead of buying, owning, maintaining physical data centers and servers. So instead of maintaining your own environment, so you can access those services from the cloud as needed basis from the cloud provider. So instead of you are maintaining your own environment, you can get it from the cloud. So who are all popular cloud providers are? Okay, one is AWS, which is Amazon provided. Another one is Google GCP, Google provided. Third one is Azure, Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft provided. These three are popular. As part of our learning, we are going to do everything in the Azure. Guys, if you are familiar with one cloud, automatically you will learn another cloud within hours. Okay, 5 to 6 hours. By comparing one cloud, automatically we can learn another cloud. As part of our data engineering, we are going to learn Azure data engineering services. Here I said multiple front and back and whatever multiple hundreds of services are available. Among all, data engineering related whatever the services are there, so those I am using in the cloud Azure. Okay, now here we have to understand, okay, this is what is a cloud computing. So what is cloud computing is based on the requirement as needed basis from the cloud. We have to, through internet, we can access the required services and you can pay accordingly. Okay, now, okay, what are the roles and responsibilities of data engineer? What are the roles and responsibilities of the data engineer? Okay, so here consider an example. Consider an example. So I'm saying with a simple example, guys, our daily routine. So consider I'm having ICICI Bank. I'm having ICICI Bank. So ICICI related, banking related, there will be a software development center also. I'm working here as a data engineer. I'm working here as a data engineer. Okay. Now, so ICICI related, related. So whatever the credit card and debit card transactions, they are going to maintain by the third party one, Visa and Master. So Visa and Master, so they are going to maintain their ICICI bank related debit card and credit card transactions are maintained by the third party one, Visa and Master. So this Visa and Master, they are going to have a multiple banks. So this is the third party one. So whatever the my bank details, why my customers credit card transactions are maintained by this one. So be a data engineer, my responsibility is we have to get my data, okay, and we have to maintain the data in my environment. Okay, consider traditionally, guys, people are using the data warehouse. I said data warehouse traditionally people are using. Okay, so here what happened is they are going to maintain their Linux system. So for example, I'm saying, so here a Linux file system. So traditional, I'm saying a Linux file system. Okay, so here what happened is using FTP connectivity, they are going to send the data in terms of this one. So every day morning, they are going to send my data now, or I can connect it to here, I can get my data. Okay, now they are going for, suppose they are going to send the data in the files, credit card transactions. Okay, 20 02 2025 dot txt, like this. I got the data. Now once the data is into this one, so I have to maintain the data in my data warehouse, SQL server. So here I can do some ETL jobs. Whatever the file, I can load it into the tables. So here I can do some ETL jobs. I can load the data into the tables, customer card transactions. Here, be a data engineer, your responsibility is we have to ingest the data, load the data into here. So we have to ingest the data into your environment, and here, once the data is here, on top of this one, as per the business requirement, they are going to generate the reports. Okay, so as per the business requirement, they are going to generate the reports. Here, be a data engineer, your responsibility is we have to ingest the data, we have to organize the data, as per the business requirement, we have to provide the data. Okay, so here we have to provide the data. Okay, so ingest the data, organize the data in the tables, and provide the data to the reporting. Those are all the responsibilities of the data engineer. So guys, for ICICI related, this is the one system. For suppose there may be multiple, consider a loans related. Okay, so any other activities related. So there may be a multiple sources. Be a data engineer. Your responsibility is we have to connect into this one. You have to get your data. You have to maintain your own environment. So that everything will be here. Everything will be here. So this is the traditionally data warehouse is happening. But as I said, nowadays, but as I said, nowadays we have to maintain the huge amount of data, big data, huge amount of data we have to maintain. So I said instead of go for Hadoop, okay, so we are going for cloud environment. As part of the cloud, I am going for Azure cloud. So here I am going for Azure cloud. So those are all some Azure data engineering services are there. Azure data engineering services are there. One of them is Azure storage accounts. So there I can maintain the data lake. So we have a ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage. Okay, so here I can maintain the huge amount of data. So here what happened is the same thing. Okay, so here, the same thing. Now I want to maintain. So earlier I am maintaining the data warehouse. Earlier I am maintaining the data warehouse. Now I am going to maintain in the lake. So here whatever this one, they are going to maintain in the lake. So this one consider here. Okay, so here I am having a Azure storage account, okay, which is a ADLS. ADLS. So here I am going to maintain the ICICI related data. So here this is the file system, a distributed file system. As the data is increasing, I can add in nodes. Now I am having a source. One of the sources is vSAN master. Okay. So here similar way I have a multiple sources. I have a multiple sources. Okay. So I can maintain the data, but I want to get this data into here. For this one, traditionally we are using the ETL tool. Traditionally we are using the ETL tools. Now the same thing here we are having a data factory. So here we are having a ADF, Azure Data Factory. We can ingest the data here. We can connect it to any sources and we can ingest the data into here. Once the data is here, it is a huge data, which is a big data, which is a big data. Now I want to process the big data. So here we are having Azure Data Bricks. So to handle the big data, so means to process the data. So now here we can use the Spark engine. So which is a PySpark. This is a Spark engine related code we can write in any language. I can write in the Python. Okay. So here guys, when you are maintaining the data, when you are interacting with SQL, when you are interacting with the SQL, there is a SQL engine, whatever you have written. So this engine is going to convert it into this one, it is going to process. Similar way, there is a Spark engine to handle the big data. Okay. One second, let me stop. Azure Data Engineering Services. Okay. Now here, so to process the data, okay. So what is a process means? For suppose I am having a basket which is having 10 fruits, out of which 9 apples are there, one mango is there. Now I can do search operation to find out the mango. So if it is a big data, means huge amount of data, 1 million fruits, I want to do the search operation for one fruit, it should be fast. So to do that one processing engine fast, we have a Spark engine. And to ingest the data, we are having a Azure Data Factory. Okay. So here using ADF, I can connecting to the sources. I can ingest the data into here. So once I have a lake environment, data lake, now I want to fetch my required thing. So I want to fetch my required records. So to process the data, I can have a data bricks. I can have a data bricks. Okay. Now, and we have a one more service we are going to learn, Azure SQL Server. Once the data is there, so there is a reporting team. So there is a reporting team, they want to generate the reports. So they want to generate the reports. These reports related, directly we can go for like this, or we have a some cloud, any OLTP system or any database Azure SQL Server. Okay, so here we can generate the reports here. Okay, so the whatever the processing data will be into Azure SQL Server, from their reporting team is generating the report. Okay, now here, so instead of using multiple individual services, those are all integrated with Synapse. So Azure Synapse. So instead of, these are all different services. These are all different services. These three services are integrated with Synapse. Here, guys, actually Databricks is a third party one. So instead of that, So whatever the Databricks can do Spark engine related, Microsoft implemented their own packages here in the Synapse. And then here we will discuss Azure keyword, where we can store the keys, secrets, password. And we are having one more thing, Azure logic apps to send the mail notifications. And here guys, as part of this course, I'm going to introduce a Fabric also, Microsoft Fabric. Guys, this is the latest service implemented by the Microsoft. Here what happened is, these three services are integrated with Synapse, right? Now Fabric is Synapse plus Power BI, Synapse plus Power BI, and some data science features also. So this Microsoft Fabric is a end-to-end data platform they implemented in the Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric. Okay. Here guys, this is recently launched. It is not yet productionalized guys. So still people are doing some POCs. Okay. So when some people are going to learn only Fabric, even when you go for Fabric, they will discuss with the Synapse only. Okay, this Synapse is a combination of these three. So when you go for interview, when you say Fabric, I worked on last 3 years Fabric, people won't consider. The projects will be on Data Factory and Databricks and SQL Server only. These combination implemented in the Synapse, this Synapse is implemented in the Fabric. So when you completed these three parts guys, Synapse is a matter of hours, 4 5 hours. Once you understand Synapse, Fabric is a matter of hours. Okay. And then, so here, as part of this one, I'm going to say one end-to-end projects I will discuss guys. Two end-to-end projects I will discuss. So data migration from on-prem to cloud, sorry, from on-prem to cloud environment related projects I will discuss. Guys, 90% projects are migration projects, whatever their traditional environment. So what happened is, people are having a traditional environment guys. Now whatever here, everything they want to moving into the cloud. Okay, so now instead of getting the data like this, so everything they want to move directly to the cloud environment. So many projects are like this only. So I'm going to cover those projects as part of this one, end-to-end projects. Other than this one, I'm going to prepare interview questions I can provide, and then a resume preparation, and then mock interviews till you get the job. Okay, how to make you get ready for the job is my responsibility guys. Mock interviews. Okay. To join this course, what are the prerequisites? Okay, guys, here, basics of basics of any language, and basics of SQL. Basics of SQL. Guys, you no need to be a master. So language in the sense, okay, programming language, consider Python or any language. What I want to know is, what is a data type? Okay, what is if condition? What is a for loops? What is a functions? This language you might be having in your BTech or degree C language. The terminology is more than fine. The terminology is more than fine. Okay, and basics of the SQL. Okay, so SQL also DDL commands, DML commands, joins, window functions, aggregations. If you don't know these two, I can provide the recording sessions. I can provide the recording sessions. If I touch this one again, it will take 2 months. So that's why I'm going to provide those recording sessions. Okay. I will provide those recording sessions, guys. And here, okay. So as part of my course content, guys, okay, you see my course content. So here you can see, here guys, I included a Python and SQL. You can see here, Python and SQL. I will provide the recording. Guys, a Fabric I did not include it. Fabric also I said. Okay. Synapse related data factory, Databricks, Synapse. Fabric I have to include it. Fabric I have not included, but this batch I included the Fabric also. Okay. And the duration will be 3 months, guys. Duration will be 3 months, daily 1 hour. Daily 1 hour. Here, guys, in the live class, you will understand only 40% only, because this is completely new. Some people are entire different background. So live sessions, you will understand 40%. So make sure you have to go through the recording. After the session completed, I will provide the recording. When you go for recording, you will understand 70 to 80%. When you do practice, then only you will understand 100%, guys. And I can see some people are entire different background. For suppose people are having already a data background, they can understand 2 months, for suppose 3 months. So for remaining guys, it will be 4 months. Means you have to spend some extra time for this one, guys. So trust me, data engineering, the two in the cloud, will rule the next decade. So some people are crazy about the data science related, AI related. Some people are crazy about it, but check about the opportunities. So opportunities related, so still people are spending lakhs of money on data science, guys. 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, but opportunities related, they don't have much. Okay, so data science or AI, this is not a simple one, guys. Not a 1 month course, 2 months course. So consider data science. Okay, so here you should have a statistics knowledge, a business knowledge, programming knowledge, big data knowledge, understanding the storytelling. So entire business related, if you know, then we can do some predictions. So it is not a one month, 2 months course. You will become a data scientist. It is not like that, guys. Okay, many people are in the dilemma. So coming to data engineering related, guys. So you cannot stop generating the data. You cannot stop generating the data. So here the data is generated. So here data engineer is the responsible to organize the data. So data engineer is the responsible to ingest the data, to organize the data, and to process the data, and to provide the data to the reporting. So you cannot stop generating the data. So unless the data is generated, until the data is generated, data engineer position is safe. That too you are going to learn in the cloud. Guys, whatever your existed background, forget about your background, guys. Okay, whatever your existed background, forget about it. So these 3 months, whatever I said, so if you concentrate on these 3 months, whatever I'm saying, okay, that is more than fine, because this is my 54th batch. This is not first and second. Okay, that too these much course. Okay, very rarely you are getting, guys. Now people are saying only fabric. Okay, only fabric, but industry in the projects, when you go for interview, people will ask these questions only. So that's why when you learn this one like this, then you will be confident in the interviews also. Okay, and here coming to this one, guys, interview questions related. Okay, Python related, SQL related. So data engineering, entire thing I can provide. So consider resume preparation. So working people, guys, for suppose you are having a 10 years experience. For suppose you are having a 10 years experience, out of which consider 7 years in testing. So you can keep 3 years in Azure data engineering. So how to prepare for this, I can provide. Okay, and nowadays, guys, industry is expecting, okay, at least one cloud, and at least one programming language. Guys, programming language related, okay, you no need to worry, guys. Nowadays we have a plenty of AI tools are available. Okay, so earlier 5 years, 10 years back, so people are scared about the programming. So people are moving to any testing, non-IT background, any admin related people are going. Nowadays, coding become very easy, guys, because of the AI tools. But don't too much habit. Don't too much habituated this one. Don't too much habituate. Okay. So here what happened is, Okay, don't too much habituate this one, guys. Here, for suppose, consider mathematics. After calculators came into picture, people are forgot the basic maths also. People are forgot the basic maths also. Even though you are using AI tools, okay, but for this basic coding is required. So try to learn. If not, go for AI tools, guys. Okay. So coding nowadays very easy, guys. Everywhere we have this tool. So they already provided. You can use for your requirements related. Okay, and nowadays, guys, industry is also expecting a jack of all, master of none. People are expecting multiple skills, guys. People are expecting multiple skills. So whether you are a 10 years experience or 15 years experience, people are asking, do you know Python or any programming language? Okay, so here this course 200% it will be helpful to you guys. So whatever your existed background, okay, so this course will be helpful to you. Anybody, any doubts, guys?
Hey, hi Srinivas, this is Pradeep.
Yeah.
My concern is that in your course in ADF, normally I have the ETL knowledge like SSIS like this. Means how we can deploy the ETL packages and
Yes.
execution part also will be covered.
Yes. SSIS I'm not covering.
No,
SSI I'm
I'm
not
not
covering.
asking the SSIS, but actually in ADF.
Normally, a pipelines, ADF related, pipelines related, I can cover.
Okay,
And mine
you are
is
not including.
completely, guys. Mine is a completely practical oriented, guys. Okay, theoretical related, you can go for YouTube, tons of material. So practical, I'm going to cover.
Oh, no, no, not like that. See, on premises we are using
One
SSIS.
second.
Uh,
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay. With the same ETL packages, can we, means there is an option is there na, in ADF part to execute in the
Y- Yes,
cloud
that I can cover.
in AD. Okay,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is for today. So tomorrow also you can
Uh,
join the same link, guys. One second. One second. I will help you. Guys,
Hi
those who are
Srinivas.
all join. Wait. I will help you. I will address your question. Guys, those who are all joined. Okay, please fill the form, guys. Okay, fees details, everything you will get an email. Okay. So certification related, guys. So after this course, you can write a fabric certification. So there is a Microsoft Fabric related DP700. So earlier we are having a DP203. Now this March it is going to decommission. Okay, certification. So you can prepare for Microsoft Fabric, which is a DP700. As I know, as I said, guys, if you know these three guys, okay, and then this one, and then this one, Fabric is a matter of hours. Okay, maximum 10 hours. You will understand. Okay, yeah, this is for today, guys. Thank you. And you can add thing,
This
guys.
conference will now be recorded.
Guys, one more thing. Okay, so here I can provide both live sessions as well as previous batch recording sessions also. So those who are all not comfortable with the live session, you can join, you can take the previous recording sessions also. And whenever you are having a doubts, okay, I can connect one to one and I can help you. Connect one to one. So some people are going for abroad H1B. Okay, so people are, instead of attending 3 months, guys, so they can take a recording sessions. Whenever you have a doubts, I can connect one to one and I can help you. And guys, some people are, if you are not able to ask your questions here, this is my number. Okay, this is my contact details. So 9346060794. So here WhatsApp I'm going to respond. So normal calls, okay, WhatsApp I'm going to respond. So admin is going to respond the normal calls. Okay, WhatsApp I'm going to respond. So tomorrow also you can join the same link, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to discuss about the storage accounts related. Tomorrow I will explain the storage accounts related and some big data related and the Databricks account creation. How to create a Databricks account. So I will tell you tomorrow. Okay. So as part of today, guys, if you observe, so we understand what is data. We understand what is data. So data we can maintain in the database. So here we can store, guys, please make self mute. So whatever the data is stored in the database. So periodically we can move the data into the data warehouse. There we are maintain the history data, but history data is not sufficient. The data warehouse does not able to handle the big data. So data lake came into picture. So this data lake, unlimited data we can store, but here to organize the data we require the data lake house. So this data lake house we can build in the cloud. Azure we can build. So here, so to ingest the data from multiple sources, huge amount of data, there is a data lake. On top of to process the data, there is a Databricks. Okay. So this is we discussed today, guys. Yeah. Thank you. Tomorrow you can join using the same link, guys.